In Washington, Senate Republicans are seriously considering a major change to the chamber's rules, known as the nuclear option, after negotiations with Democrats to confirm President Trump's nominees collapsed. The move comes as more than 140 of the president's picks for key government positions remain stalled in the Senate. The path to confirmation was blocked after President Trump accused Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer of political extortion, claiming the Democratic leader's demands for a deal were too high. As a result, lawmakers have left for their August recess without an agreement to approve dozens of nominees who had already cleared their respective committees with bipartisan support. Senate Majority Whip John Barrasso criticized Democrats for what he called an unprecedented filibuster of nearly every nominee, with the exception of Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Barrasso warned that if Democrats don't change their behavior, Republicans will be forced to change the Senate's procedures. Normally, rule changes require a 67-vote supermajority, but the nuclear option would allow the majority party to make changes with just 51 votes. Republicans like Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma argue that Schumer's actions have forced their hand. Options being discussed include shortening debate time for nominees and grouping certain civilian nominations for a single vote. Today nominations, a process already used for military promotions. While lawmakers in the Senate grapple with procedural gridlock, the Supreme Court is facing its own complex challenge with major implications for future elections. The High Court has ordered additional arguments in a pivotal case concerning Louisiana's congressional map. At the heart of the case is a newly drawn map that creates a second majority black district, which challengers argue constitutes an unconstitutional racial gerrymander. In an unusual move, the justices have asked both parties to return next term to further argue whether the intentional creation of this district violates the 14th or 15th Amendments. Supplemental briefs are due by mid-September, with replies due by early October, just as the court begins its new session. This legal battle has a complicated history. The state's first map, drawn after the 2020 census, was blocked by a federal court in 2022 for diluting the power of black voters. The state legislature then created the new map, which features a winding 250-mile district stretching from Shreveport to Baton Rouge. This map was immediately challenged by a group of non-black plaintiffs, leading to the current Supreme Court case. The court's decision to seek more information underscores the politically charged nature of redistricting fights that are emerging across the country ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. The legal battles extend beyond the ballot box, with a prominent Democratic senator now reportedly facing a federal criminal probe. According to a Trump administration source, Senator Adam Schiff of California is the subject of a criminal investigation into alleged mortgage fraud. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland is reportedly conducting the probe. This development follows a criminal referral sent last month from the Federal Housing Finance Agency to the Department of Justice. The referral alleged that Schiff may have falsified bank documents and property records on multiple occasions to obtain more favorable loan terms. The core of the allegation centers on a 2011 affidavit in which Schiff, then a congressman, certified that a property in Montgomery County, Maryland, was his primary residence. However, public records show that Schiff has also claimed his condominium in Burbank, California, as his primary residence, most recently during his 2023 Senate campaign. Owning multiple homes is not illegal, but misrepresenting a primary residence on a mortgage application to secure a better interest rate can be a federal offense. As of now, this is a developing story, and Senator Schiff's office has not yet issued a public comment on the investigation. From alleged financial crimes to violations of national security, federal authorities also announced significant arrests this week in a case involving the illegal export of sensitive American technology. The Justice Department has charged 2 Chinese nationals with violating the Export Control Reform Act, a felony that carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. The 2 individuals, Chuan Geng of Pasadena and Shiwei Yang of El Monte, California, were arrested for allegedly shipping tens of millions of dollars worth of sensitive microchips to China. Prosecutors say Yang is an illegal immigrant who had overstayed her visa. Through their company, ALX Solutions, the pair allegedly exported advanced graphic processing units, or GPUs, which are critical for artificial intelligence applications, without first obtaining the required license from the Commerce Department. The illegal activity allegedly began in October 2022 and continued until last month. According to the complaint, the company was founded shortly after the U.S. government implemented stricter export controls on these advanced chips. To conceal the final destination of the technology, the defendants allegedly used shipping and freight forwarding companies in Singapore and Malaysia as transshipment points. A search of their office reportedly uncovered phones with incriminating messages discussing the scheme to evade U.S. export laws. While federal agencies work to combat international crime, new data from the FBI offers a comprehensive and somewhat mixed look at crime trends here at home. According to the Bureau's annual Unified Crime Report for 2024, crime rates dropped significantly across nearly every major category. The data, compiled from over 16,000 law enforcement agencies, shows that violent crime decreased by 4.5% compared to the previous year, marking the second consecutive annual decline. The report found a nearly 15% drop in murder and manslaughter rates, reaching the lowest level in 9 years. Property crime also fell by roughly 8%, with burglaries down 8.6% and motor vehicle thefts plummeting by a remarkable 18%. However, the report also contained some sobering statistics. It revealed a disturbing trend in violence against law enforcement. Between 2021 and 2024, 258 officers were killed in the line of duty, the highest 4-year total in 2 decades. Assaults on officers also hit a 10-year high. Furthermore, the report showed a significant uptick in hate crimes targeting Jewish individuals, which rose by 5.8% in 2024. This represents the highest number of such incidents ever recorded by the FBI since it began collecting this data in 1991. The Bureau estimates that despite the overall declines, a violent crime still occurred on average every 26 seconds in the U.S. last year.